let's go into some of the more intricacies, the details of the product itself. Next to me here, we have our 48 amp level 2 breezEV charger with screen and all the connectivity. Some of the unique aspects of this unit are, first off, the fact that it can charge up to 48 amps. It turns out here in 22, many vehicles can't even charge at that rate. A lot of electric vehicles in the past have charged at 32 amps, 40 amps. Very few of them can charge at 48 amps. But we want to allow for an installation that can accommodate not only for the EVs of yesterday and today, but also for tomorrow. So we're giving you some of the fastest charge rate at 48 amps. What happens if your customer doesn't have the breaker capacity to charge at 48 amps? There's an internal switch inside of this unit that can allow for selection between 48, 40, 32, and 16 amps, so that you can choose the correct amperage setting for that installation, but with only one part number. We also have very interesting ability to control the amperage through the software. Our software, which I'll talk about in a minute, has an optional package called load management. What you can do with the load management is basically through the software, you can regulate how much total power is being pulled from these chargers. So say, for example, you have 2 chargers on a pedestal, and in that example installation, you only have 60 amps of available breaker capacity. So this 48 amp unit uses 60 amps of breaker capacity. If you have 2 of them, you would need 120 amps. Maybe you only have 60 amps of allowable breaker space. In the software, you can set that the maximum allowable space is 60 amps. And that means that if driver 1 pulls up to this charger and charges his or her vehicle, he's going to get all 48 amps of power going to that vehicle. If driver 2 pulls up an hour later to this charger, it'll be able to throttle down both units so that you'll never exceed that 60 amp allowable breaker. You'll also notice on this unit the screen. This 4.3-inch LCD screen is bright and can be seen in broad daylight. What's the point of the screen? Well, it turns out that in multiple states, they're requiring screens to display information to the driver. The driver may want to know the time of date, the time of their charging session, what the rate of charging is, so how many amps or kilowatt hours are being sent to their battery, what the cost is, so what they're paying for the electricity, what the temperature is inside the unit to make sure nothing's overheating. So multiple states are already requiring this screen, and we believe that requirement is going to be spread to more and more states in the future. You'll also notice on this unit this green section right here. That's an RFID key card reader, so that if a driver pulls up to this unit, they can easily charge their session to a key card in their wallet or maybe on their keychain. The breezEV units also come with optional internet connectivity, either through 4G cellular or Ethernet. 4G cellular is going to be your easiest way to connect the hardware with that cloud-based software. The reason why 4G cellular is so much better compared to, say, Wi-Fi is 2 reasons. One, if these are installed outside, maybe in a parking lot, perhaps that Wi-Fi signal is not strong enough to make it outside. The second reason is that you don't have to get that IT department involved. It can be cumbersome to get the IT department of a large company involved with access and security for these units to the network. You don't have to worry about any of that with the 4G cellular. With Verizon or AT&T networks and the SIM card installed inside the unit, the connection with the cloud will be completely independent and secure from your Wi-Fi connection inside your business. How about the cable sets? As I mentioned earlier, we've done something truly unique with our ordering scheme for the cable sets. So the cables, which by the way are manufactured here proudly in the United States, can be in-field installed by the electrician to the unit. So the charger itself and the cable are shipped separately to the job site. We have 6 different options for cable sets. We have 3 that are 40 amps and 3 that are 48 amps in 12, 18, and 25 increments. The idea behind this is that you can choose the right length cable set and the right amperage cable set, that you're not spending extra money for that project or getting a longer cable that's required. There are multiple mounting configurations that can easily be achieved with this breezEV solution. So you can do either wall mount or pedestal mount. The pedestals have been designed and manufactured here in the United States. We're very proud to manufacture both the cable sets and the pedestals 100% here in Massachusetts in the United States. For the pedestals, we've decided to take an approach that makes it super easy and super low inventory to be able to achieve so many different configurations. So you can do either single or double mount or even quad mount all on the same pedestals. We have only two pedestal options. We have the non-cable management offering, and then we have the cable management offering. Both of these configurations can either take one unit on the front or two units back to back, or with an optional mounting plate, take 2 or 4 units side by side and back to back. So you can accomplish so many different pedestal mounts with really only 2 different SKUs for pedestals, plus that optional side by side mounting plate. Likewise, with the cable management systems, we have tensioners that are mounted on top of the units, and these tensioners could be in-field replaced in the field if they ever were to fail, again with this theory of easy in-field replaceability and serviceability. The cable management tensioners will keep these cable sets nice and organized and off the ground. So with breezEV, you can either do wall mount or floor mount, ground mount installations extremely easily with limited SKUs. Now let's discuss software. Wait, software? Why do we need software on this hardware? As it turns out, software is an integral part to the vast majority of utility incentivized EV charging installations. There's 3 reasons why software is so important to an electric vehicle project. Number 1, making it accessible to the public. There are apps such as PlugShare, and then maps such as Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze. There are tools like Yelp. All of these things are making it more easy to find charging stations in the public. By using software, it means that your charger and your stations will show up in the public domain so that when drivers are searching for EV charging stations in areas perhaps they don't know that well, they can easily find your station. Number 2, the software allows you to control access groups and pricing structures on your EV charging stations. What I mean by this is perhaps, let's use a university for example, you have a university parking lot where you may have faculty, students, and the public all accessing that one parking lot. Maybe you have employees and faculty being able to charge at no cost. You have students charging at a low, reduced rate. And then you have the general public, everyone else that you want to charge a higher rate to. That's really easy to do, really easy to set up in the software. The third reason why software is used on so many of these projects is for utility and electric company rebates and incentives. The electric company wants to make sure that this unit that they're rebating is actually going to be installed. It's not just going to be put in a closet and never used. So 1, they can make sure through this subscription software that the unit is used. Second, they can understand the load requirements from EV charging. Obviously, this EV charging is a whole new load on the grid, and the utilities want to be able to plan future upgrades. They're easier to do when they have the data that they can collect from how much load is being put on the grid from electric vehicle charging versus other loads. They also want to be able to do something called demand response. So with our software, the utility can, if it's required, and this is only required in certain states and in certain utility programs, but in certain states and utility programs, they require the ability to be able to go into these units when maybe there's going to be a brownout or a blackout episode, and they can throttle back the power or they can turn them off completely. So those are the 3 reasons why software is often used on EV chargers. We've decided as a company that we believe in what's called OCPP, Open Charge Point Protocol. Unlike what many of our competitors do, where they have a lock system, so the hardware and the software are forever mated together. You can't separate them. With our unit, we are completely open. We are unlocked. You have the ability, if down the road you do not like the software company that we've chosen to partner with, or there are reduced rates from other software companies, you have the ability to change to a new software company. So you're not locked in with whatever software company we choose or recommend for you to go with today. It really allows you to choose the right software package at the right price point and not be locked in. This is a major benefit. We've decided to partner with a company called AmpUp on the software. AmpUp is an OCPP software provider that we've preloaded on our chargers, and the process to deploy this in the field is easier than anybody else. You don't have to pick up the phone or have somebody knowledgeable in IT to be able to set this unit up to provision it in the field. This unit is going to be shipped to the job site, and through the AmpUp installer app, it's going to be a breeze to provision this and get this up and running at the job site. Lastly, we're offering through breezEV what we're calling the breezEV Ultimate Guard program. The Ultimate Guard program is an extended warranty and maintenance plan. When you subscribe to this, either during order or after order, it means that you have an optional extended warranty and an optional maintenance plan. We've partnered and teamed up with electricians which have nationwide or often regional support where they can quickly react to the job site if your customer needs anything repaired. So in that example where somebody drives over this cord set and it needs to be replaced, they'll respond to that. If there ever was a defect in the charger itself, they would respond to that. The breezEV Ultimate Guard program gives your customers the peace of mind that their charging stations will be up and running 24/7, 365. As you can see, we've brought quite the list of features and benefits to our breezEV solution. So please reach out to any of us here at Light Efficient Design Remfoss or contact any of our knowledgeable reps, and we'd love to discuss how you can help your distributors and your contractors become better educated on electric vehicle charging. Thank you.